It's the Absurd American Nerdcast with your host, Dino Freddy and Mr. S.
There was, look, I have some personal opinions about this movie, and some people might have read online that it's the I don't remember who put it up, but somebody reported that it was as good as Endgame,
Ooh.
and that's some big shoes to kind of follow. You get what I'm saying. So I mean, Guardians is kind of like. Do you remember when Guardians got announced and people were like, why the fuck are we getting a Guardians movie? Like, who asked for
Right,
this?
right.
How
Kind of
does
not
this
like,
connect with the Avengers?
yeah, it wasn't really
And I mean,
mainline and everything, and they were just kind of like throwing us on a loop there, but I'm kind of glad
and
they
they gave
did.
us kind of like the second generation of Guardians, not the first generation, which made an appearance in the second Guardians movie. I mean, Yondu was on the original team, but like, I think Sylvester Stallone's crew were the original Guardians in the first like
Mm.
wave. You know. Um, so like obviously that all kind of connected together, and we needed to. I guess at the time we didn't really. No one really knew of like why we were getting this, but I mean, if you add Nebula and Gamora into it, I mean, ties into Infinity War, right?
Exactly.
So, these characters were kind of just unknown. Nobody really knew them, and like we grew to love them over time, and including spanning across like different forms of media and movies, and especially with the holiday special.
Right.
Now, for me, I think this movie is gonna, kind of. I don't want to say like split people down the middle, but it's gonna like we know in real life they're like the actors, their contracts are like you know
Right.
they're
Right.
expiring, and like Zoe, or not Zoe, what's her name? Plays Gamora.
I don't know right offhand, but Gamora, I got you.
The actress who plays Gamora said that she's kind of done with the MCU right now.
Hmm.
And I was bringing this up to somebody else that I was talking to, and he was like, "Yeah, but they can always like rewrite a contract." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true. They could rewrite a contract. I mean, like
I mean,
people are
yeah.
gonna have people are gonna have to come back for Secret Wars. Like that's the big event. Like that is the
Hmm.
I cannot wait for that. Um,
Right, but
but
if
yeah,
their contract's ending right now, that's kind of smart on their part
hmm
because then they can like for an appearance and everything because obviously the MCU is going to want you to be there for those moments as a big aha
hmm
moment. Let's talk about like Tony Stark, right? Robert Downey
yeah,
Jr. Of course everyone wants to see him back.
yeah.
Everyone wants to see Tony back. But like, you know how much it's going to be to get Tony back? You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
Robert Downey Jr. is a pretty penny. And then, even more so, knowing that he fought for his fellow actors and actresses to get paid on his level in order to do the movies, now we take this to a bigger and grander scheme of things, because now we're going to have all the Secret Worlds, or, like, it's going to be so massive. So, if these contracts are ending and they are going to want these actors back, it's smart on their part because they're going to be able to get paid more just
that
for the
that
one appearance.
that's really true. And I also think like I really think either Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars are gonna have a $1 billion budget.
Yeah.
Like I truly believe that is what is gonna happen, because it could be a little bit more too. Like think about it, because you have to get all those. Most of those actors and actresses are kind of A-list now.
Right.
Like all of them are basically A-list actors and actresses. So
Right. It's gonna be
this may be
so
like a
crazy.
it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be like probably a little bit more than $1 billion to make both of those movies. So I'm excited to see. I also like. I'm kind of sad because like we can have Tony Stark back. We can definitely have Captain America back, which we probably will.
Right.
But then they just I know they just go away.
Right.
And we're never going to have them, even though
It's gonna be
multiple
that
other
one moment.
stories. Yeah, but like the things, like they're involved in other storylines. And I know we're trying to get the new Avengers and the young Avengers off the ground. But I mean, I feel like we should still have those mentors kind of around
Right.
to kind of come in and be like, yeah, when we were fighting, like to just kind of like say comparison, like, because you're going to have those moments when some of the either new or young Avengers have like no real like kind of other experience on this grand scale because it's like their first time like out on their own.
Mhm.
Like, how did you deal with this? We kind of just made it up as we went, and we just fought hard and never went down. Like, there's always going to be those emotional moments that you
Right.
get. And yeah, I kind of wish they still stayed, but I get it. Like, they just want to move on with their careers and whatnot. But kind of
Right.
going back to recapping back to Guardians of the Galaxy, I kind of like read a couple of people's like reactions from the premiere, like what they thought about it. And spoilers up ahead, because if you don't want to hear this, please skip ahead, and we'll have like a time code in the description just to let you know where it is. So this is your last warning, spoiler. I heard Peter Quill doesn't die. He goes back to Earth and lives with his grandpa.
Okay.
I heard Drax will die,
Okay.
Gamora will leave, and Rocket's going to be like the official team lead with Groot and Nebula. Like, that is what
Okay.
they said what the outcome was.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Now, talking about people's contracts and stuff and coming back for something, like, that makes more sense putting those people like that now.
Yeah, kind of parking them, so to speak.
Yeah. And
Your story's
honestly,
complete.
like,
Let's put you here. Let's have these main characters so we can do kind of a side story to keep people entertained in between and grow those a little bit lesser known characters now. Give them some more, flux in the storyline. Yeah, I mean, it's smart. It's just smart.
I
They get
just
to
kind of like,
expand. Oh, they get to expand so much doing that. It's insane.
yeah. And if you can keep characters like that on the back burner and make sure it's like it's properly done and everything, like that can work out really well.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's what I heard. So like I mean, I have my own opinion. I think either Rocket Raccoon and Drax will die.
yeah, I kind of feel
And
like Drax is done. Like, I just feel like,
yeah. I mean, Thanos is dead. Where's his story going? You know?
It was all about revenge with Thanos,
And also, like,
that's
that
done.
never really came to anything. Like, he never had a revelation with him about that, but it's okay.
that's
I
true.
know Adam Warlock is going to be in this movie, and he's going to be on the team too. That's what I also heard.
There's your
or read.
replacement.
Yeah.
That's your replacement for Drax.
Adam Warlock is probably, I don't know, people might hate me for saying this, but I think Adam Warlock is more OP than Miss Marvel. Like,
Okay.
honestly, like I mean, he's kind of the reason in the Infinity War that it happens ish, He's a part of that Infinity Crusade.
She's like the reason why it happens?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if he was a herald of Thanos. It's been over 10 years since I've read this. Please forgive me. But you know how, like, Silver Surfer is kind of the herald? But I don't know. Actually, is he the herald? Is he something? I'm going to have to do my research. But I know Adam Warlock played a very big key role in the Infinity War. I just know that because he's, like, on the cover.
This has been the Absurd America Nerdcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. And click here for more.